laugh with that music because it just feels like it cuts off and then voila, I'm here. Joe, I don't know if you can do anything about changing that so that it slows down and I can come in a little bit with a slow vibe or something because it just kind of cuts off and here she is. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to session 3 of Your Opulent Self. My gosh, my gosh, my gosh, my gosh. Thank you. Thank you to you for saying yes to you. Thank you to you for going all in and doing the work that you need to do so that you can make the changes that you deserve to have in your life. Thank you so much for your beautiful messages. Thank you for committing to this time and showing us and sharing with us who you are and what it is that you want and the changes that you're making. Thank you all for your incredible feedback. I'm so deeply grateful that you're getting so much out of this. And wasn't yesterday's session just absolutely incredible? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What stood out for you? Tell me what stood out for you in the link below. Joe says day 2 was epic. Isn't Joe epic? Give Joe a round of applause. My God, you see me doing all the teaching, but in the background there's an incredible team, incredible women, and Joe is leading all of that in the background and making this happen. So a massive shout out to Joe, who's doing an absolutely incredible job yet again. Yay, Joe. Angie says, hi, Joe. Hey, hi, Angie. How you doing? Welcome. So, hi, Olivia. Yes, Joe, you are epic. Absolutely. Joe is epic. And some of you have Joe as a success advisor. So if you haven't had your one-on-one session with Joe, make sure you book, okay? Make sure you have those sessions because it's great that you're showing up. It's great that you're here today. It's great that you're here live. And I want to also give a shout out to our friends in Europe who are getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I spoke to Birgit last night and she's up at 2 o'clock and is getting so much out of these sessions. So everybody that's here with us from the UK, from Europe, thank you so much. But if you haven't booked your one-on-one session with Joe or with a success advisor, if you don't know who your success advisor is, please let Joe know because you don't want to miss the one-on-one sessions. It's one thing to do this work and it's fantastic to do this work, but if you want to go deeper, if you want to have some clarity around your definition of opulence and who has their definition of opulence, who has their definition of opulence, and I'd love to see it. I'm not seeing enough of those. I wonder why. I wonder if it's because you're shy or because you don't want to share or, you might not even have your definition yet. Well, I hope that you speed up with your definition because remember, the first law is order, okay? So get your one-on-one coaching session, share your definition of what opulence is. And now let's get stuck into the session. Are you ready? Are you ready to have another dynamic, incredible, amazing session? Who's ready? Who's ready? Who's absorbing? Who's giving their all? I'm ready, Angie says. I'm ready. Joe's put the link on. If you do want me to see your name when you're commenting, just click the link, okay? Now, someone also shared with me that sometimes it lags. You can hear me, but it's in a different voice and it's very slow. It might be because we are live streaming in 2 different groups. We are live streaming in the Millionaire Roundtable and we are live streaming also in Your Opulent Self Facebook group. It's a trial that we're doing this time around because people were getting confused with the 2 groups. So please could you let Joe know If you do hear a lag, we're not sure whether it's just the internet that the person was using or whether it's something that most people are experiencing, and whether it is because we're going live in the two groups. Hi, Liz. Lovely to see you here. Welcome, 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 welcome. And Joe says, hell yeah, ready to go. All right, let's do a quick recap. Who thought yesterday was just like, who felt a change in them yesterday, just in the opening up to a deeper level of understanding of the truth of who they are? Who felt different? And let me ask you another question. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are now? So you know, some of you shared with me who you thought you were before our session yesterday. So who do you think you are now? I'd love to hear from you. And how has yesterday made a difference to your life? One of the most common bits of feedback that we have received, the change that people, the aha moment of yesterday, and probably for the whole of this course, is that without you, so if you did not exist, my friend, if you did not exist, the entire universe would be out of alignment. Think about that. So if you weren't, if your essence wasn't here and you didn't exist, the whole entire universe would be out of alignment. Think about that. How big is the universe? It is infinite. It goes on forever and ever and ever. If you look up, it goes on forever and ever. If you look diagonally, it goes on forever and ever. Behind, you know, it just goes on forever. It is infinite. And it just is. And it just is. And if you did not exist, that whole infinite universe could not function the way it is functioning right now. Could not function. It's like taking out, you know, the 1,000 piece puzzles. I've never done a 1,000 piece puzzle. Many of you probably have. If you took just one little tiny piece out of the puzzle, it's just not quite right. So if we took your essence, your core, out of the universe, which is impossible to do, but let's just say the whole entire universe could not function the way it is functioning right now. That's how important you are, my friend. That's how powerful you are. And it's really important that you open up to that understanding, even just a little bit. Even if most of it goes over your head, just open up a little tiny bit to the possibility that you are way more powerful than what you've ever given yourself credit for. Just open up to that little possibility. You are loved way more than what you've ever thought. You are a gift to this life, and life is a gift to you. What are you going to do with it? After having realized that, even if you've opened up a tiny little bit, just a tiny little bit, how differently are you going to live your life moving forward? You see, back in 2017, September 2017, by the way, folks, 2 days ago, 31st of January, marked the 5th year. It was exactly 5 years that I walked out, let go of my full-time senior management job. I forgot to say that. So isn't it ironic that we started Your Opulent Self on the 31st of January, and 31st of January 2017 was my last day of full-time employment. Had a great job. I just knew what my purpose was ever since I was a child, and it was time to leave. So it's my anniversary this week of staying in business and having a hugely successful business for 5 years. Well, actually, the first year it wasn't very successful, but we made it. We made it to the 5-year mark. Okay, they say most businesses don't succeed for 5 years. Okay, and it was September 2007 that absolutely changed my life. So I was following Bob Proctor for many years. He didn't know who I was. He does now. I just sent him an email a couple of days ago for a very, very special invitation for him. And we'll see if he comes. He always comes back to me. But he didn't know me back then. It was the first time I ever met him. And I was sitting in front of the aisle of there was probably about 100 people in the room. And my life just changed like that. So I've been listening to him for so long, but I never, ever heard him share. And he was talking to me. I know there was 100 people in the room, but every single cell in my body felt it, felt a vibration. It went right through every single cell of my body. When he said, without you, if you did not exist, the entire universe would be out of alignment. And that's the moment where things changed forever. Because I realized I was playing small. And from that moment, it was time to let go of the smallness. It was time to complete a book. My second edition is now, and I'm writing my third book right as we speak now. Get my business going and make a difference to the whole world. So you have an opportunity right now to open up. But you see, I was ready. I was at 11 on my scale from 0 to 10 of how much I wanted my dream. Where are you on the scale of 0? If 0 meant absolutely it's not important to you, this new opulent definition of your life, not important at all. And 10 it's just as important as your family, as your loved ones. I was 11 for my dream. And because I was ready and because I made a decision to do what it takes, those words resonated every single cell in my body. And that's why my anniversary of leaving work on Monday, 5 years, okay, incredible things have happened. So you have this exact same opportunity right now. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Are you going to continue to play small? Or are you going to go deeper? Are you going to commit? And are you going to say, enough is enough? I am changing my paradigm. I am changing myself so that I can have the life that I deserve, so that I can also live my dream, fulfill my dream, just like Susanna has. You see, the decision you make right now will make all the difference. That happened 5 years ago, just under 5 years ago, because it was towards the end of 2017 where I made that decision. And if I told you all the stories of everything that has happened since then, even thinking back, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my story tomorrow, okay, not to impress you, but to impress upon you. Because if I can do it with that flick, that understanding, boy, oh boy, so can you. But you must be a 9 or a 10. You must be an 11. You must want this. You must be so aligned with it. You must want to change. And I'll tell you why. Because we spoke about paradigms yesterday, right? And you now know that your paradigms are your subconscious habitual thought patterns that control your feelings, your behavior, and your results in every single area of your life. Doesn't matter if it's your relationships or your business. Now, one thing that I may not have mentioned, I don't think I did mention yesterday, your paradigms are very, very difficult to change. Okay, there are two ways to change a paradigm. One way is through emotional impact. Now, the problem with emotional impact is that it's often a negative, so trauma. You may have been bullied at school and that fear just went straight into your subconscious. You may have had a car accident, goes straight into your subconscious. Okay, we all know or have heard of somebody that was once a confident driver and they have an accident, and immediately after that accident they are so fearful of going back into the car. Some never drive again, right? So that's an example of an emotional impact. That's an example how quickly your subconscious can change. But emotional impacts can be positive. They can be positive. I've had one experience that was very uncomfortable, but it was a positive experience. But most are negative experiences. And the other way to change your subconscious is through repetition, repeating the same thing over and over again. You see my clients follow me everywhere. We have the best time on our Monday coaching calls. I give them so much more value than what you get here, obviously, right? This is a free course and you're getting a lot from this. I'm very, very generous. Okay, and you can see the change in them from week to week, but they still show up when there's a free course because they know it's the repetition, and every single time they show up, right, something changes. Something in them changes, a feeling, a new insight. They may have heard it 1,000 times and probably get sick of my voice, but something goes deeper, right? This is the power of repetition. Angie, how many times have you done your Opulent Self? It would have been at least 4 times now, okay? They keep showing up because they see the difference that this makes in their life. Now, because paradigms are so difficult to change, it's very difficult for you to change them on your own. Okay, so you've experienced this where your goal is here and you want to get here and you're like, this time it's going to be different. This time I'm going to change. So you go on your journey, and the first week, the second week, third week, you're working, you're moving towards it, and then all of a sudden, bang, oops, you haven't done anything, or you get sick, or you get busy, right? Okay, your paradigms will sabotage you all of the time. So it's important that you work with somebody that understands what paradigms are and how to change them. Now, you can change them on your own. That's possible. You can. But in all of my 31 years since I studied psychology and counseling and was in senior management for the community services. I've worked with people that have intellectual disabilities. I've worked with refugees. I've worked in family services, right? A whole wealth of experience there. I've not found anyone, myself personally, that has changed their paradigm on their own. Okay. Now you can do it. It's possible. But in my experience, I've never, ever found anyone that can do it on their own, including me. Okay, so that's why I invest in myself. Now, I'm very, very good at helping you change your paradigm. In fact, I'm one of the top people in the world. I'm in the top 1%, and Bob Proctor himself has said publicly that Susanna is one of the best people in the world doing this work. So if you want to change your paradigm, you need to be investing in somebody that knows what they're doing. Do not be putting your time and money with somebody that doesn't have the track record. I have the track record. Okay, so 2 ways to change your paradigm: emotional impact and repetition, backed up with a coach or with somebody that knows how to help you change and has that track record. So You've learned a little bit about your paradigms, about why you've got blocks, about how you can change them and the support that you need to get that change. Okay. And you've learned that paradigms are difficult to change. You actually haven't learned that. You knew that because you've experienced that. That's probably why you've attended this program. You know, you want more. You know that opulence is there for you. So therefore you want to break through and really have that. And you can have that. If I can do this, you can too. Believe me. Okay? It changed just like that for me. And then it just kept changing and kept changing. And it can for you too. I wouldn't be wasting my time. So the next part of the equation of the formula to your new opulent life is self-image. Okay? Now, what comes to your mind when I say self-image? You see, even though I studied psychology, I thought self-image was the way that you dress, you know, your style, you know, your the way that you have your hair. Okay. And that is a part of self-image. But what I learnt was that the self-image that really makes a difference is the image that you hold of yourself in your mind. So how do you see yourself in your mind? Do you see yourself as someone that is super capable, that is successful already? Or do you see yourself somehow, you know, with like somebody that isn't worthy, that doesn't have enough, that's not intelligent, that is not enough? You see, I am going to go through some slides today. I did say yesterday I don't like slides, but when I thought about it as I was sharing yesterday's session with you, I thought, I want you to get the most out of this. And these slides, I believe, will help you. They'll help you understand your mind and they'll help you understand self-image. So in the next 24 hours, what I would love for you to do is focus on recreating your self-image, because the bottom line is you will never ever succeed beyond your self-image. Okay, Maxwell Maltz, who was the author of the book Psycho-Cybernetics, he was a plastic surgeon back in the 50s. He discovered self-image and studied it. So what happened was when he noticed a pattern with his patients. So he'd perform plastic surgery and they'd look different after the surgery. They may have, I don't know, taken off a scar from their face, or, had a smaller nose, or whatever the surgery was, right? And he noticed that some patients, after having surgery, their whole life changed. They became a huge success. They were different people. But then there was some other patients where they stayed the same. Life just stayed the same. Nothing changed. If they weren't a success in life or success in relationships before, they weren't after the operation. So he did some studies. He thought, I wonder why that is. And when he went deeper, he noticed that those that changed their mind, their image of themselves in their mind as a result of the new feature or the new change in the way they looked, naturally started to act differently, be differently, and they got different results. They had money all of a sudden. They had relationships, great relationships all of a sudden. Okay. So this is extremely important to you. So you now know that you have infinite potential inside you. You now know that you are the gift. The gift is not out there. It is you. You now know that the whole universe would be out of alignment without you. You also know that paradigms, so you know that with your conscious mind, but you also know that paradigms are difficult to change. Okay. So what we have to do, self-image being one of your paradigms, okay, what we have to do now is change the self-image to align with your goals. So let's say that this is your goal and you're here, right, for lack of a better example. The mistake that people make is they see their goal, okay, and they want to get to their goal from here. So they work hard, and then they fall back, right? They self-sabotage. The mistake, so that's the mistake. In order for you to have your opulent life, because it is there for you. If you're a 10 or 11, like I was, it is meant to be yours. You might need to change some stuff, but it is meant to be yours. So rather than, rather than go from here with all of your old paradigms, you have to change your self-image to be aligned with the success that you want, with the opulence that you want in your life. And as a result, right, the opulence will come to you. Okay, so I'm going to share some slides. Now, let me see. I was able to do this last time. Let's see if I can do it now. Otherwise, what's happened? That's not what I want. Otherwise, here we go. Okay, let's see what happens now. All right, can you all please, I'm going to just jump back to where you are because I can't see you now. Can you see the screen? Joe, could you let me know if the screen is up, please? So we think in images. Can you see that? No, you can't see it. Okay. All right. Thank you, Joe. All right. So I think you're going to be able to see it now. I see what I have done. Joe, let me know if you can see it, please. We think in images because I can't see both of you right now. So I can't see whether you can see it or not. Yes, we can see it. Fantastic. All right, let's go. Let's get into this. Let's get into it a bit deeper. So we think in images. Okay, so if I was to ask you, think about your car. Think about your house. What about your best friend? Your mother? Think about your refrigerator. Do you open it from the left to the right or the right to the left? Now think about your mind. Those of you that watched yesterday's session, you'll know the answer to this, okay? So what happens is, we think in images, right? That's how our mind thinks. But when it comes to asking you to think think about your mind, if you're anything like I was, even though I studied psychology and counseling, I would get confused. I'd think, well, I'd have an image of the brain, but I knew the brain wasn't the mind, and I just got confused. Now, this is really, really, really important, okay? So in order for you to change your mind, in order for you to change your paradigms, in order for you to change your self-image, you must have an image of the mind, okay? So Dr. Thurman Fleet, he said the mind is an activity, it's not a thing. No one has ever seen the mind. In order to gain clarity and eliminate confusion, he created an image that you can work with, okay? If you don't know who Dr. Thurman Fleet is, he was the advisor to President Kennedy, also to Gandhi. So he's very, very, he was in his time a very, very respected healing arts and holistic health leader, okay? So he created the stick person. Okay, now, please, I know there are hypnotherapists here. There's quite a few of you hypnotherapists here, probably people that have studied psychology like I did. Do not think that this drawing is too simple for you. All right, do not allow your ego to get in the way. I did. Back in 2017, when I left work, senior management, successful, whatever you want to, these were the things that were getting in my way. I just thought, yes, this is too simple, for me. I don't need to draw it. I don't need to refer to it. And therefore, I did myself an injustice. Okay. My growth was a lot slower than what it could have been. So please, this is probably one of the most important images that you're going to come across, even though it's one of the most simple. Okay. So we need an image of the mind in order for us to change our mind. So I said yesterday, we have two parts of our mind. Okay. So we've got the conscious and the subconscious mind. Okay. The little circle represents the body, but remember, your subconscious mind is not in your head. It is in every single cell of your body. It is an energy. It is a thing. It's not a thing, okay? It's an energy. Remember what Dr. Thurman Fleet said, which means it's not located just in your head just because your brain is there, okay? Now, my dear friend and dear mentor, Bob Proctor, said this is one of the most valuable ideas I have ever learnt. So what's a paradigm? It is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And almost all of our behavior is habitual. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper about your marvelous mind. Okay, so obviously we have the conscious and the subconscious mind. Okay, now your self-image is in your subconscious. Okay, it is a paradigm. It is a form of a paradigm. So if your self-image in your subconscious, if as a child, remember yesterday I used the example of children that, not doing well at maths, and my beautiful nephew feeling that he would love to be an astronaut, but thinking that he can't because of his I guess disability or disadvantage with dyslexia. He had a self-image in his formed very young that he is not intelligent, that he won't be accepted by NASA. Okay, ironically, NASA wants people that are dyslexic, to become astronauts. That's one of the criteria, would you believe it? Because they think differently to people that don't have dyslexia. So your self-image is in your subconscious. It is an idea that was formed possibly because of a trauma or a repeated idea in your family, in your community, in your peers about who you are and what you can achieve. Because it's in your subconscious, you have an emotion, a feeling towards yourself about that and success. And this then controls your actions and your results. Okay. Now, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I was just thinking, should I share this with you now or later? But I'm going to share it now. So let's look at this a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to throw in, I know this course is not about manifesting, but it really is when you understand yourself and what manifesting is. Okay, so how does manifesting work? So remember, if everything is energy, remember quantum physics, the tiniest particle, the atom, is 99.1299999%. Nothing. It's just energy. Okay. And that energy is vibrating, right? And everything on the physical is a vibration. So if your subconscious is your emotional mind, right? That's where we feel. Okay. Your feelings are a vibration and they're vibrating in every part of your body. But not only that, because everything is vibrating on the material, and because you're subconscious and because your energy, so your vibration, your emotion is attaching to the frequency aligned with it. And that it's attaching to the frequency aligned with it, that explains how manifestation works, right? So change your paradigms, change your self-image, start to feel great about yourself, start to feel great about life, make that your new paradigm. And not only will your results change, but you will start to manifest with ease and flow. Okay. One of the best manifestors that I know, one of the most incredible manifestors that I know is one of my clients. Her name is Emma. I did her personal training session this morning, and she's getting her kids involved with this stuff. And the deeper she goes with this work, the higher she just is feeling better and better about herself and her life, and bigger manifestations start to happen. So you really want to listen to this. You really want to be doing this session on self-image and working on changing your self-image so it aligns with your definition of opulence. So let's have a look at this, okay? So your self-image is a cybernetic instrument. So as I said before, cybernetics, all that means, cybernetics are machines, right? Your mind is not a machine, but they're machines that are designed to be set at a certain level. And then when there's a deviation from that level, it brings back automatically to where it needs to be. An example of that is the thermostat on your heater. So it might be, I don't know, 1 degrees outside, it's winter, 1 degrees. Sorry for my American friends here, I don't understand Fahrenheit. So I'm going Celsius. So 1 degree Celsius outside, and you've got the thermostat in your room set at 25 degrees. So you want the room, comfortable, and it's going to keep the room temperature at 25, right? As soon as somebody opens the front door and cold air comes into the room, the cybernetic instrument in the heater, in the thermostat, will recognize a deviation, a drop in the temperature of the room. And then what happens? The heater, the machine kicks in and speeds up the heating to get the room back at 25 degrees, okay? So this is exactly how your subconscious mind works and how your self-image works, right? It's a cybernetic instrument. So let's just say that in your self-image, you feel like you're overweight and you've always been overweight. Okay, so you have the self-image of somebody that is overweight, okay, that doesn't feel confident with their physical appearance or their weight, okay? And therefore, you decide to go on a diet. Now, your decision to go on a diet is in your conscious mind. Okay, right? So your conscious mind is the analytical mind. It's where you make, decisions, where you analyze, where you are judging me right now. You might be saying, oh, she is so good. God, I love her. You might be saying, oh, okay, come on, speed it up. Okay. So that's happening in your conscious mind. So with your conscious mind, you make a decision to go on a diet. But your subconscious, your self-image is still overweight. So you go on a diet and what happens? So if you look at the green dots below, you're losing weight, you're loving this diet, you're losing more weight, okay? And what happens? So when a person is overweight and goes on a diet without altering their self-image, without changing that paradigm, right? Any weight loss will be temporary. And we see this. You may have experienced it yourself, yo-yo diets, or people that have lost weight and then 6 months down the track, they put even more on, right? Okay. So any weight loss will be temporary. The self-image being the cybernetic instrument, just like the thermostat on the heater the example I use. So the self-image being a cybernetic instrument measures the deviation from the set goal. And the goal is, right, the self-image. The goal is being your mind thinks overweight is the goal. Okay, so this is why lesson 1, I said a clear definition of what you want. We want to replace what your mind thinks the goal is to the real goal of the life that you want. So it thinks that this deviation, it thinks that this deviation is deviating from its actual goal, from the self-image. So it immediately corrects the course, okay? So what happens then is automatically, whether you're on a diet or not, the weight that was lost is found, okay? This is how your subconscious works. Who's loving this? Who's learning something about themselves? Yeah, very, very powerful. Okay, so Albert Einstein said, sorry, I've just gone a little bit. So Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Okay, now we're deviating just a little bit here, but I'm going to bring it back for you. Okay, so we know what to do. If we're overweight, we know going on a diet, okay? But if we don't change the self-image, we will not have permanent results, right? Knowledge is limited, okay, to all that we now know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all that ever will be to know and understand. So what does that have to do with your self-image? I'm going to try to come back now. Who found that valuable? Who found that valuable? Let me see if I can come back to you. Here we go. Loving it. Angie's saying loving it. Brilliant. Okay. Who learned something about themselves in that image? Yes. Okay. So it explains a lot, Michelle, beyond valuable. Thank you. It explains a lot. Okay. It really shows you why you feel STUCK. I don't like that word because you're never ever STUCK. There's always a way out. There's always a way out. But we must change our self-image. We must change the way we see ourselves. So let's look at imagination. And why did I put that slide in at the end of that? So we now know that unless we change our paradigms, unless we change our self-image, unless we start to see ourselves differently and replace the old image, in that example, it was of being overweight, to the new image. So the old image for you might be, since it's your opulent self, not having enough. Your old image may be not feeling worthy of success. So unless we replace your new definition of opulence, right, with what was there will always keep coming up. So we must replace it. So imagination is the key. So your homework between now, and I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, okay? Because I'm busy, we have a lot of clients around the world. I don't normally have time to look at people's work individually, okay? But I will for you guys, okay? So when you finish this piece of work, if you like, you can send me your new description, and I'll be happy to look at it and send it back to you, or send it through Joe, whoever your success advisor is, Natalia, so that you can, have it with my feedback. But this is what I would love for you to do. So what I would love for you all to do is write the description of your new opulent life. And it's really important that that description is in present tense. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities. Okay, whatever it is for you, whatever opulence, and I've got my description and I can't wait to share, but I'm waiting for you to share your description of opulence. So you're going to write that on top. And what you're going to do, so I've got, ouch, I've had it burning for hours. I've got my little candle burning here. I've got my meditation music going. You may even hear it. It's very, very low. And I want you to, burn your candle, put your meditation music on. I listen to Barry Goldstein normally. And I just want you to close your eyes. You might want to do it now. Just relax and close your eyes. And imagine what life would be like for you if you were living your new definition of opulence right now. Just imagine it. Connect to your heart space. Let go of the thoughts that are coming in. That's all normal. Just let them go through. It's okay. And connect to your heart. How would it feel? Just imagine it. Anything is possible in your imagination. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. I want you to see yourself in your imagination. Now that you have your definition of opulence, who are you? How do you walk? How do you talk? If you want to get hire in your business, if you want to, have a team in your business, who are you as a leader? Are you an international leader? How do you feel leading your team? How much money do you have in the bank? Who do you have around you? What are the key characteristics of your personality, and how do you feel in your skin? So I want you to practice that, okay? This is fun. I want you to practice imagining you having your opulent life, okay? And I want you to practice imagining who you are having your opulent life as if it was happening for you right now. And then what I'd love you to do is write a description of your new self-image in present tense. So for example, you might start with, I am so happy and grateful now that I have opulence in every area of my life. I am at the top of my company, my business. I'm earning $100,000, $1 million, and I love it. I love myself and I respect myself because I am me, because I am confident. When I talk to people, people listen, whatever. So you're going to write a self-image script, okay? So your new self-image script is going to be aligned with your definition of opulence, okay? When that's done, if you would like, and if Joe is your success advisor or Natalia, I think I'm your success. The success advisor for a couple of people too, for Michelle and for Birgit. If you like, I would like you to send the self-image to us. Okay, so send it to Joe, admin@your2minds.com. Joe will put her email address up there. And the self-image scripts that we get in the next 24 hours, I will personally have a look at them in the next couple of days, and I will tweak them or give you some feedback on how you can make them a bit more powerful. How's that? Okay, so make sure you have your one-on-one session with your success advisor. Make sure you do the work today, because what you do today with self-image, okay, you're going to get so much out of it. Remember, writing it down. So imagination, as Einstein said, okay, he actually came to the formula E equals mc squared through his imagination. Okay, it wasn't his intellect, it was his imagination. But as he said, your imagination is so powerful. If you want to change something, imagine it differently, right? What that does is it changes your vibration, first of all, right? And your subconscious mind is your emotional mind. It's the vibrational mind. Okay, so that vibration is going to move through your body, and immediately you're going to start to act differently. You're going to feel different, you're going to act different, and you're going to attract different, because everything's a frequency. But when you put pen to paper, magic happens. I don't think there's anything, or not many things anyway, because I keep having bigger and bigger goals that haven't been realized when I write them down. So two things happen, okay, when you put pen to paper. Okay, so you are using all of the neural pathways through your brain into your you're using all of your pathways through your hand and your arm to your brain. Now, the neural pathways in your brain, as I mentioned the other day, okay, they're already set. If we put scans to your brain, we could see where your paradigms are. So as soon as you start doing that, it elicits different activations to different parts of your brain, okay? But also it starts to prune the neural pathways of the previous paradigm that you've had. So it starts to change them. And what writing does, it creates, you're using your imagination. So you're imagining, so the imagination is going deeper, Okay. Imagination causes feeling, which is the language of the subconscious. Feeling then turns into action. Okay. So I want you to write it down. Who's going to write it down? Who's going to do this piece of work? You can be, do, or have anything. You can be, do, or have anything. Back in 2017, when I left my job, the part that I did not tell you, I left a 6-figure pay package, okay, when I was $500,000 in debt. 500,000, $500,000 in debt. Who does that? Okay, right? I'm sure most people thought I was crazy. Sometimes I had to question it too. But it was someone who was ready to step out, and it was someone who was doing this work. And as a result of that, my goal was to replace my annual income with my monthly income. As a result of someone daring to step out, that monthly income was replaced in 1 week. Okay? Right now, I'm not asking you to leave your work. All I'm asking you is to commit to yourself. Commit to yourself and do this work because it works. As I mentioned yesterday, we now have a company that's in every single continent in the world. We have clients from everywhere, apart from Antarctica. I don't want to not tell you the truth. That's the only continent that we don't have a client from. We're working on it. We're working on it. So if this works for me, you have the exact same potential. What can you do? What can you do if you started to live from the place that the whole universe would be out of alignment if you did not exist? And if you stepped out and started to change your self-image, started to do something differently, and started to also invest in yourself to get a coach so that you can change your paradigms. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow. I want you to commit to yourself. Let's do this. Let's write the new script of you. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you so much for being here with me, for your incredible energy, for committing to you. Thank you so much for all of your beautiful, beautiful messages that have come through in the past 24 hours. I absolutely honor and respect and I adore every single one of you. And I know my team do also. Jo would second that. She gives love to everything she does. And thank you so, so, so much. Let's do this. I look forward to receiving your incredible new self-image. Thank you. Bye-bye.